Hi YouTube, I have created an underwater probe. I started this project as a submarine or underwater drone, and actually I built it, but the final product was just a toy category. The balance with the submarine was not found correctly, and telling the truth, I ran out of the budget. For that project I dedicated around 100 euro. And after exceeding this budget, I had to make a decision. At around 120 euros I decided to stop that project. Why? It was too bulky. Actually, the original idea was to be able to operate this submarine from a boat. And back in the planning phase, I should have thought of this more deeply. Because if you are on a boat, you can just control on the surface this direction, and on the surface, very simply, you can control the depth. And the only thing what you need underwater is the turning capability. That submarine could go front using a water pump, could turn to the left and to the right, and with a bicycle pump it could come up or go down using a party balloon. But it was too bulky, it was too problematic to handle, too big, unnecessarily big. And the balance of this submarine was not found correctly, and the whole thing was just not good enough. And I decided to modify this idea, this project, to a probe. For seeing on the surface, I'm using an SJ4000 camera. It is in a motorcycle casing. I glued this cable end into this socket, and I gave an extra rubber ring. It's a normal household rubber ring for better sealing. And with this modification, this is absolutely waterproof. Originally, water is leaking here into the camera, which of course ruins the camera. But with this modification, this problem is solved. The requirement was to be able to operate this machine from the surface and to be able to see real-time picture or footage on the surface. It has got a limitation. The resolution is not high enough, but enough to see what is happening underwater. And also you can give another camera with better resolution possibilities. So we just simply let this probe down, and from the surface you can turn it practically 360 degrees around with the help of these water pumps. And the depth can be controlled from the surface as well. its maximum depth is 18 meters, and of course you can mount a torch or a lamp onto this probe. For the turning movement underwater, I'm using a 12-volt motorcycle battery. On the surface, we just clip these crocodiles onto the battery, and we can use these two buttons to turn left or right underwater. The original idea was to use a phone on the surface, but I couldn't find a decent application with which I could have a stable footage on the surface. I was using an OTG converter, but the applications were not good enough. It kept dropping the signal. So I had to turn to a laptop, and with the laptop it gives a proper connection, fully stable, and onto the laptop you can record the footage, the underwater footage directly. And as mentioned, if you want higher resolutions, you can put a better camera next to the watching camera. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.